We got a really interesting bunch of articles and notes and stuff, and they're all kind of pointing to this whole compute versus software thing in AI. It seems like it all really started with Andrej Karpika, who was head of AI at Tesla. He tweeted that he'd never bet against compute power when it comes to how intelligent we can actually make AI.
Right. So what Karpathy is getting at is something pretty fundamental, I think. It's kind of like the difference between like having a bicycle and then having a rocket ship. You know what I mean? Like if you actually want to reach the moon, that faster bicycle just won't cut it.
Okay.
You need that raw power, that immense capability that a rocket gives you.
Okay.
And compute power is like the rocket fuel of AI.
Okay. So bigger engine, bigger potential.
Exactly.
But then you've got like DeepSeek comes along and suddenly everybody's talking about how they're like rivaling like the top AI models while only using like a fraction of the compute power. Nvidia stock even took a dip. Were investors right to panic? I mean, is this really a turning point?
I think the market's reaction was understandable, but probably a little bit of an overreaction.
Yeah.
DeepSeek's approach is definitely interesting. There's no doubt about that. They're using some pretty clever techniques to kind of squeeze more performance out of less computational power.
So it's not that they have less, it's that they're using it better.
Yeah, they're using it more efficiently.
Got it.
Yeah. One of those techniques is something called a mixture of experts.
A mixture of experts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds more like a boardroom meeting than an AI model.
So instead of having like the entire team working on every single problem, you only call in the expert whose skills are just perfectly suited.
Right.
Could that specific task?
Right.
That's essentially what a mixture of experts does within an AI model.
So they're being more selective with how they use the compute power they do have.
Exactly.
That's pretty clever. But does this actually overturn the whole idea that more compute equals better AI?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So here's the thing. These efficiency tricks are impressive, but they're ultimately like finding a shortcut.
Okay.
On a really long journey. You might get ahead for a little bit, but eventually the person with the faster vehicle will still overtake you.
Yeah.
Software innovations give you like a temporary advantage.
Okay.
But they don't actually change the underlying physics of the situation.
So in the long run, those big AI labs, the ones with all the massive computing power, they're still going to be the ones calling the shots.
It's hard to see it any other way, really. Think about it. These big companies can easily adopt and scale these efficiency techniques.
Yeah.
They have all the resources and the talent to implement whatever DeepSeek is doing. And they're also constantly investing in developing even more powerful hardware.
Yeah, so DeepSeek might be leading like the efficiency race right now, but the big players will eventually catch up and then surpass them.
Yeah.
Simply by having more raw power at their disposal.
Exactly. And there's another software, unlike hardware, is super easy to replicate. So once someone figures out a clever software trick, it's not that hard for others to just copy it, implement it themselves. This is why software advantages tend to be short-lived in the AI world.
Okay, so DeepSeek made a splash with their efficient model, but they haven't really rewritten the rules of the game entirely. The fundamental relationship between compute power and AI capability still holds true.
That's right. No matter how cleverly you try to optimize the software, you're ultimately limited by the available compute power. You know, it's like trying to run a complex simulation on a calculator. You just need a certain level of processing power to handle the complexity of the task. The same principle applies to AI.
So DeepSeek's achievement is noteworthy, but we have to keep it in perspective. They've found a way to make their AI models more fuel efficient, so to speak.
Yeah. You can't outrun a rocket ship on a bicycle, no matter how aerodynamic your helmet is.
Haha, I love that analogy.
Yeah, I think it perfectly captures the dynamic that we're seeing here.